there, beloved family of light, beloved Ascension pioneers. Welcome to my how to release video. I've been promising and talking about this video yesterday on my page, and I felt a strong urge to talk about this. You know, there are many of those who don't need to be here in this planet, who have chosen to come here to really share the Ascension experience because they have already gone through it. You know, there are either those who have gone through it on several different planetary systems, because it's just what keeps happening in creation. You know, their planets being pushed into that, not pushed, but they naturally undergo these phases of ascension and upliftment, and really creating a new reality. And then the individualized souls who really desire to have an experience of that on that planet. So they're often guides who have gone through this process and then incarnate and guide others because they have a natural understanding of this process. First, you know, I made this short note, because a lot of times there's so many things to talk about, and the people ask me so that I maybe tend to forget to mention everything, and I really want to mention everything in this video because it's really important. Many times I've talked about letting go, releasing, and that we are letting go, but I haven't even actually really got to the core of it. How we're doing it, what's the best and most natural way to go through it with ease and grace, and this is what it's all about. So first of all, I want to ask you, really, do we need a certain method to go through that? Do we really need a method, or is it really so that our inner guidance, if we listen to it, if we trust it, has all the answers have to flow? You know, for instance, if you feel guided to release through crying at that moment, and if you really deny the experience, you don't want it because your beliefs have been teaching you that it's bad to cry, that this is a sign of weakness. And if you don't listen to it, then you really want to do some other method, you really are not flowing with your inner spirit and your inner guidance. So the only guidance here, besides different methods that do exist, is that if you're picking methods, the one that resonates with you right now. I shared on my wall a beautiful energizing exercise shared my beloved sister Abigail from Australia. It's on my Facebook wall. You can subscribe to me because I have already reached the friends limits. But I shared that note. It's really beautiful. And like she said, we are now really learning to stay in our highest energy because there's still a lot of density happening in the external realm. So we're like learning to master our energy centers. So the only method that we need is what comes to us in that now moment, because our spirit will always guide us in the very now moment of what is needed to best release. We're all in different cycles of releasing. We're all in different stages. And it's not about that. It's about you listening to your own inner cycle and what is needed for you. Is that, for instance, a dose of good crying or a laughter session? Don't forget, I was writing about being playful today. This is a very important part of releasing. If you stick too much to the old and being serious all the time, you're also missing the point. Through just allowing yourself to be, then you're moving into that space of playfulness, and basically you can create from there on, from the new. So this, as I've been saying, is an intense week of letting go. It truly is. And we're walking into our inner wholeness, as now so many report, when I share things, so many report on feeling this way and everything that's come up for release for them. And many might feel like they're right on the verge, you know, real deep self-emergence, while others must still feel feelings of separation, you know, and everything that comes from it, from guilt, shame, blame, anxiety, stress, and feeling symptoms of really not being of this world. I mean, we're all not of this world, but still, you know, when you're coming into that ungrounded state, just really feeling no attachment to this world in a non-healthy way, not through neutralized equanimity, but through really feeling that you're just losing yourself somewhere, you know, in that deep void. It doesn't help you really to shift, because you have to be connected to your bodies in order to know what is shifting and what can be released. So many feel different way, like I said, and these feelings of separation are still, of course, of the old, where we're shifting our energy matrix, and this is our body matrix. Basically, our body is the one who is being integrated into the new. People still ask me, well, if I feel these changes in spirit, you know, why does my life doesn't match that? Well, because you lack embodiment of it. We all know so many things, like I said, in spirit, but true nature of us is we got to live it, we got to embody it. So if there's still something not aligned in your life, it means it lacks embodiment of what you know through awareness. So first is always awareness that comes through spirit, then the body integration and moving into that new, that is your new body matrix. So whatever we may feel, in these cycles that we are all in, we need to welcome it. And pushing it aside never serves anyone. It really prolongs the experience, just putting it there on hold. We've been suppressing far too long. We don't need that anymore. Because it just makes the feeling, it doesn't make the feeling go away if you're just pushing it aside. So we all have to really choose to feel with the fullest of intensity, without labeling it as either good or bad, whatever we're experiencing, because it is not about that. And we should bring a feeling of, people say, oh, but tomorrow's going to be better. Oh, I know tomorrow's going to be better. We should bring that feelingness of a better tomorrow already in the now. Because if we postpone our happiness or our feeling centeredness of feeling good and exuberant, joyful, all of those higher states of being, if we cannot feel them now, even if we're going through intense body shifts, when will we feel them? There is no promise of another tomorrow. This is the whole thing of this human body. You're never promised another day. You never are. We never are. And I reported about this a lot, about the intensity of this week. We had the 11/11 triggering this week. And of course, these total solar eclipse in the middle of the week. The intensity is also accompanied with major releasing that is now occurring on the level of our bodies mostly, This is our body template. Still, it's how I see it. I will talk about it further when I get to the points. It's still a part of the introduction now. And I will explain how the DNA is actually shifting. And that's why many physical symptoms that we maybe have experienced before are now resurfacing again. And we go like, oh gosh, but I thought I was over this. But it's on a whole new level now. Because we're in a period of major body adjustments, although we cannot see it, because these shifts are happening in a very subtle way in our bodies. If you had a sudden shift in your body, you wouldn't be here. Your body couldn't handle it. And we're in a period of many of these adjustments. So these symptoms come naturally, and they are natural. For example, I was experiencing heavy digestion challenges recently, especially from the 11/11 weekend on, and just started shifting back into a more normal state today. And my mother felt really sick in her stomach yesterday. She was just lying down. And many people also, when I put that information out, they reported about something very similar, or head pressures or so on. So people might feel these pressures in the head area, fatigue, tiredness, crying. This is already releasing. These are all very highly possible right now, and this is releasing from the old body matrix, freeing ourselves from it. The messages that I got yesterday when I was shuffling my oracle cards, I think they were fairy cards. There's just 3 of them fell out. First one was breaking free, like that old, because I had a huge releasing day yesterday. The second one was letting go, and the third one was laughter. And this was exactly how my day went. So we are releasing and being freed basically from that old body grid, and we're aligning with the new one. In between every shift, when you're entering, into the new one, and it's unknown, it's the space of unknown, you might feel this void. And the eclipse and the 11/11 already, they started triggering that void. So the most important thing when anything like this happens is to stay neutral and not judging or labeling the whole experience, because it is about the experience itself. It's not about us trying to understand it with the mind, because we cannot, Our bodies are a very sacred tool, and they need very high awareness to be understood from the level of creation point. So when we try to label this, it usually can only come from our past experiences, because the mind knows only the past, or it wants to be in the future. It cannot know how to be in the now. So therefore, it is not anchored in the now. And we are now, therefore, just being asked to embrace everything as it comes and watch it go as we objectively observe it through neutrality. It's the only way to really release. For instance, I had these digestion challenges. And when I was feeling them, when I was going through these, the hardest day for me was the direct day of the eclipse. And I was trying to label the experience, and I thought it was going through something of the past again. And I made this huge mind confusion in my head trying to understand that I felt bad all evening. And I had weird dreams about it, on and on, when I woke up. And then I decided to just really don't go into the past, because basically this might be a whole new way of shifting and new way of experience. It doesn't have to be like it was, for instance, back into summer, or there were other periods of time in my shift and my awakening that I've gone through. We each have like this spot in our body that will be mostly predominant in how it's shifting. You will notice the shifting there the most. Some people have it in their stomach area, some people their throat, some people head. I have digestion. So it really depends on the body signature, the matrix that you have planned and you have chosen for this body. Again, it will need higher awareness for you to understand this, you know. Because everything, you know, when we're releasing, which is what we're doing now in another cycle, everything basically needs to go. And like I felt it through spirit, you know, I wrote about this today. It's like the last, it's not last because we don't know. It's the last cycle, of course, of cleansing prior to the December alignment, to the December solstice on the 21st. And anything of the old needs to go. And this applies to deeply rooted beliefs and core patterns which are connected with our physical DNA structure. So let me explain. When the old physical structure, which is the old DNA that we got from the lineage of our parents and ancestors and everything, we've came here as pioneering spirits to really resolve it. Not to resolve it through the mind, but to really, as we know it in spirit, as we are the graduate souls, to really be compassionate observer enough that the alchemy is happening naturally in our bodies. So the old structure is basically like the filaments of the old DNA are being like, you know, if there are holes in it, they're being like filled with this glue, which is basically it's love. It's shedding light into it, so the light permeates through it. But it cannot happen if you're trying to label it through the mind. Like I said, then you lose the feeling of the experience. You go into the head and you cannot rationalize it about it because it's something that's happening for the first time, as you're experiencing now, you know, because we went all through the forgetfulness state. As we, you know, incarnated here, we have gotten this veil. And we're going through it brand new. So we're learning as we go. We're learning along the process. And the DNA structure of the old is being basically fused with the new DNA. It's like the light of our light DNA is fusing with the old DNA and creating like this new strand. It's like opening the higher strands of DNA. That's what is happening. And Lee Harris just made an email update today, and he mentioned that he was channeling also this week about the crystalline body structure. So we are basically shifting into the crystalline body. And again, it's an unknown territory. It's a process that we all talk about. We basically have to go through it. And all these changes, when they come, it's like we forget that we are in this process, you know? It's like we've talked about so many things, but then when we come to this process, we're like amnesia, we forget it. We need to remember that we're in the process that we've been talking about for so long, and this is now. So as pioneering spirits who came here to do the purging in our bodies, we've chosen this, you know, so this is our main responsibility in this ascension process to actually, we're leading our body into a higher state, a higher octave of being, which is an exciting thing, isn't it? Because it's like playing with something new and you're discovering a brand new territory, but also what is known to you. But again, when you're channeling it out, sourcing it out, it also feels like it's for the first time. So as the old DNA filaments, like I've been describing, are fusing with the light of our DNA, our light DNA, and our bodies are becoming more and more crystalline in nature, many shifts and physical changes occur in our body. So we need to be attentive to our bodies. The messages they're letting us know, the points in the body that are being triggered the most. Why? You know, don't go into the why I need to know. Just feel, you know, that if there's a reason for it anyway, and you don't need to understand it, that kind of why I mean here. And we really can go, you know, when we know how to release, we can go through this process very naturally, and I'll be talking about this now. We can go through it with ease and grace. And that's what we really need to love ourselves and our body, because, you know, it's very easy to love our body when it's at utmost highest capability and when you can just run and hike mountains. And sometimes you're feeling very down and your body needs that time to adjust, and you don't love your body so much at that time. It feels like you're angry at it. That doesn't help your body to shift. So it's really important to love your body. And no matter how this body responds to this purging phase, unconditionally loving that body. We can never fully know when we shall, you know, more shall come, and more of this purging process. So when we say, oh, this is my last phase, this is my last cycle, we really are coming from the ego. The ego does not understand. The higher self knows when we're just going through the process. So we can never fully know when more will come. And we need to remain observant and humble. Humility is a very important factor here. And because there is no releasing without love, and there is only humility in love. Also was guided to share about the importance of crying. Yesterday, how my releasing looked, it was basically I was crying for no reason. Then I was talking to my beloved, and we were mirroring each other in certain patternings, you know, and then we were just flowing through the process with ease and really feeling the beautiful energies. So when I felt that cry come out, you know, it just went into my inner realms. Then I breathed it a few times, and it was like this. The shift was instant. In a moment, I felt good. I felt good again. And in the evening, I really felt guided to watch a funny movie, because sometimes, you know, we get out of balance. We really get out of balance. And when I get out of balance, when I just do my writings and I talk to people, I get out of myself, just being playful and goofy. And, you know, what I like to do also for me, without need really to be there in the external reality, to just be in me. When we lack that balance, we just like get swifted up for our feet. And what happens is that can cause us to feel very low and cranky. So when you feel that way, know that this is the signal for you to release more and come more into that balance. So importance of crying, what crying does, it's not a thing of being vulnerable and then, you know, expressing your emotions through crying. Basically, through crying, you're not expressing your emotions. You are letting go of the exact that. So the emotional letting go and clearing. Beautiful brother of light, Trent Nicolaisen, I think that's how it's pronounced. He wrote something about crying today, and I'll read it. He said, releasing the dam of the trapped, unbalanced energies is to me an essential natural process when one finally finds the safe time and space to let the blocked feelings that may cause the recycling of the thoughts and past experience so they can be in the past. Crying is a reset back into the balance of self-love. Awesome. Even Mother Earth with Father Sun cry together to bring new water formed by the sun's hydrogen shot to the earth by the solar flares that collide with the earth's oxygen to create thunderstorms that restore the atmosphere, producing a new start. And inside us, in a woman and in a man, that we were separated by the belief in fear. So he's explaining that, and how eventually the man and the woman on the inside realize that the fear has to go, and how we're releasing. And this is a beautiful writing, and it is exactly so. If you can really see everything as above, so below, and if you can see your cycles in exact comparison to Mother Nature, you will understand, you know, this releasing. So the basic releasing method, which is not a method, it's a complete awareness type of thing that I would like to share here, is whenever something comes up, and the moment you will try to define it, you've lost it. You will postpone it. You will postpone the experience, because the moment you want to get it, you want to get it, and you want to get it, you won't get it. Release it. Say, I don't no longer care. You know, when I had my digestion issue, I just said, I no longer care. I don't care. I don't care. I'll survive. I'm strong. I don't care. I really don't care anymore what the messages it's supposed to bring to me. I guess it's not time, and I'm just pushing it. So I fully released. I said, I'm fine. I'm just fine. It's just my body shifting. There's nothing wrong with me. Everything is fine. And the moment that I was able to do that, then the messages can come. Then you can feel better again. Then your body can start shifting. Like I said, love your body. If you cannot love it when it gives you some challenges, and, you know, then you're really not being best friends with your body. And like I said, we come here to help the body ascend, to help the physical reality of this earth to ascend, you know, because your spirit is already in that mode. So this is really important, you know, about the crying. About body symptoms, I was already describing that. You can have many different symptoms, and not always all symptoms will be Ascension symptoms. I was speaking about this so many times, and it's not really important. The moment you label them, even as Ascension symptoms, it's still a label. All that you can really be focused on when you truly are releasing is letting everything go. The need to define the experience, the need to really understand the experience, the need to compare your experience with someone else, everything of that needs to go. This is all coming from the old beliefs of the old. flush it down the toilet, whatever way possible. Just say, I don't care, go do something else in that moment or whatever suits you best. I don't know for you. I can only listen to my guidance. But whatever your heart guides you towards is the best thing for you in that now moment. And spirit guidance always works only in the now moment. So I already explained about changing of the DNA, how this is happening. At this time, I would like to mention about the food, because I remember back in the shift of September, I really shifted to raw vegan. And today I received this question from a lady of light. She said, I spoke with a fellow light worker and he had told me that we don't need food. We could live off light alone. I was wondering what your thoughts were on that. I'm curious because I've blacked out from abstaining for a few days. However, if it brings forth more of my I am presence, then I would be interested in it. Well, listen to me, beloved brothers and sisters. There's a really big, huge difference between aligning with your body and the diet it craves and starving. Basically, like I explained, please go to the questions and answers section of my page, especially if you're one of those who still wonder about nutrition, and read the article about that when I describe that each of us is on our own state of vibration, and the food that we bring as external prana to our bodies will always mirror and match that perfectly. So when we're not there yet, of course our body will still make sounds and we will still feel hunger, because the body knows. And why don't we listen to our body? Why would we rather listen to what someone else says instead? They're in their own cycle. Basically when we just say, oh, we're already there, we don't need food anymore, what we're doing is we're judging the human experience to really be fed. And we can be fed by really amazing light foods, very light food, like smoothies, green juices, salads with dressings made of nuts and seeds and so many things. So many beautiful light foods. And the more that we experience these shifts, our process will always be natural. The shifting as to how we feed ourselves will always be natural. It won't be difficult for you. I've seen people who say, I'm not trying to make it work that I'll be full breatharian. I'm making it 50-50 now or something like that. But let me tell you this. If you are making it work, if you're making it an effort, then it's not the right thing for you. It really is not. If you're blacking out of the whole experience, do you really think that's where your high is good? Do you really think that your spirit would want your body to suffer? No. Of course, shifting from manipulated foods, from dense foods, from meat and dairy and all of that is a very important part of the ascension. And I describe this process in my article. Go to the questions and answers section on my webpage if you're interested. And know that you have your own inner body guidance system. So if your own body tells you no, then listen to it. If your body tells you no, I still want food, give it food. Don't starve it. It's not really loving your body. I mean, whatever someone else says, and you feel that that person is like a light worker who knows more than you do, again, like I always keep stressing out here. Well, are you willing to really forget about your inner guidance and you will trust another that they know more? A lot of the people are coming from the ego and they will speak about how we no longer need food and so on. And look at the reality. It's very dense still. The whole planet, the whole energy matrix here is still in the sense very dense. Look at how many people eat meat. Look at how many people are not awake yet. So look at how this shift is happening gradually. Of course, it happens to some faster than others because it depends on where energy body is, where your energy source vortex is, how much of your light self you have anchored in your body. It depends. But your body will know when you're hungry, eat. When you're not hungry, then don't eat. Don't follow the same old rules saying you have to eat in the morning, you have to eat, 3 times a day. Well, you know what? That's a bunch of crap, sorry, so to say, because each and every one of us knows that there are many different theories on how to feed ourselves, but, maybe a certain person discovered that theory which was right for them. But you cannot generalize the whole experience because the ascension process and shifting into our bodies, as they're doing it so, it's different. It's very unique to each and every one of us. So if you're going to force yourself to become a breatharian, it's not really how spirit works and flows through your body. It doesn't make sudden changes. Sometimes these changes can be very sudden, but not by force, not by you controlling it and saying, now I want to be a breatharian. This is coming from the ego. The real heart guidance will always flow with reality as it is. You'll just observe it. Like I say, if you're waking up in the morning, like I didn't feel it this week because I had these challenges in my digestion. I did not feel to eat. I just simply did not feel to eat in the mornings. I would feel too much stuffed, so I did not. I flow with my body, you know, and every time we do that, we make these changes naturally. And once you might say, oh God, when did I shift into this? It will be so subtle that you won't even notice it. It won't be like this thick line and, you know, you were in this other reality, now you're completely shifted. It'll be a very smooth transition. So it's not that I'm telling you what to do, but I'm telling you to really listen to your heart. And I'm not sure anyone, because of something that someone else might say, would like to starve themselves, would like to walk astray from what their body truly needs. And if the body is not yet fully drawing the light of the source, it needs to be sustained by the external prana. That is just how this body was structured in this dense reality. But the more that you move out of this dense reality, the less, of course, you will need to be sustained by food of that external origin. But as long as you do, you will crave food. It's natural. It's different than cravings, you know, coffee, sweets, things like that. It's very much different. You won't have cravings, but you will feel the need to be fed, and that's natural. Your body knows what it needs, right? Also, importance of rest and sleep. I was guided the whole week to sleep more. So even when I woke up in the morning, I really felt guided to, you know, just try to, you know, sleep more, to go back to sleep. And this is always happening when there are major shifts of the body. When there's external symptoms, you will also be guided to rest and sleep more. So I hope this video made you really become more self-confident in the way that you shift. And whenever you have a certain symptom, don't try to define it. The moment you define something, you negate it. Just flow. And one of my favorite exercises with anything as such is just what is natural to all of us. What is the most natural thing you think it is for us human beings? Breathing, breath. Whenever there's something coming from the external, either symptoms or stress or, you know, addictions or other people's energies, the moment you're seeing and sensing yourself as too much focus externally, how do you bring yourself back to awareness? The breath. Deep breath, you know, deep breaths, and they will bring you back. And like I shifted yesterday, in an instant, you know, you can go seek for many different complicated methods. But I recommend that you choose what is natural to you and what is natural to all of us as human beings. We're human beings. We're not just light beings. We're also human beings in this body. Embrace your body. And what connects your body to the eternalness of spirit? The breath. The breath is what sustains your life. The breath is what anchors through awareness. So do breathing work. Don't complicate it. Take it as simple as it is. Because in truth, it truly is simple. And it can be simple for you as well. It doesn't have to be difficult. Anyway, I'm taking a short weekend break. And if you are one of those who follow my Facebook page, I keep forgetting to mention this in my video because Facebook is now, I think it's making people to advertise their pages, and I'm really not into advertising at all with anything I do. I'm just about sharing myself. But if you really want to receive my Ascension Pioneers notes and posts regularly, I think you will have to go on my page and you'll have to click, you know, follow the posts from this page. I mean, show all posts of this page. If you're one of those who's also on my Facebook page. And today we reached as Ascension Pioneers 4,000 likes. So yay, 4,000 unique visitors there. A lot of subscribers already everywhere. And I'm hoping for more so we can co-create a better reality which comes from within to without. And I'm thinking of getting a few new things, you know, after this short weekend retreat I'm taking some time for hiking in the mountains and just being and relaxing and being playful, because this was an intense week and this really feels really needed. I think that Doreen Virtue, she pulled the card playfulness as well for this weekend, so it's all very much in attunement. And also really would like to get some new things done. I'm hoping really to publish the forum very soon, until it's still November, that we can all exchange and co-create. I always am guided to do new things on my page, like today with a 4,000 visitors coming to my page. I offered them a free spirit message and they received that, and we're really grateful. You can also receive my free spirit message if you will send me in your beautiful videos. And I also had another message coming from Spirit that, you know, I feel that there's a new influx of videos. I haven't received a few in a while now, I just received one yesterday. Finally, I was really happy because I felt a new influx is coming. Now it was like a more introverted stage, especially with the Mercury, you know, going retrograde. And I'm hoping for this new influx. So what I'm doing is I'm inviting you, beloved Ascension Pioneers, all those of you who have a webcam or anything or a phone cam, it doesn't really matter, to share your Ascension Awakening journey, your beautiful process and your journey, what it brings you, how you're getting, how you're feeling these energies, how you're getting it out into the world, how you're sharing your heart essence and space, or just how you're flowing, you know, with everything that's happening and what kind of joy and whatever it brings you in your life. And the one, I will select next week if I get any videos, any new videos from all those of you that I will maybe be posting. I will grant one of them that I will also choose a free half-an-hour session, basically love flow on Skype with me. That's what Spirit guided me to say today. Whether it comes true or not, we will see, but I am making this commitment. So stay in radiance. Know that when you're playful and exuberant and feeling your excitement, the whole of creation blossoms up, lights up and blossoms, pardon me. Anyway, much love to you and have a beautiful, fantastic weekend. I hope to make some mountain videos for all of you. Who knows? Bye.